What's going on, people? I hope everybody is doing good, man. So real quick, I wanted to hop on here and talk about a video recently released by Comedy Hype in regards to the rapper T.I. being booed and bombing on stage in his recent comedy release. Okay? Got a few things to say about it. I'm not going to tarry too long. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play this clip by Comedy Hype, and then I'm going to come back with my commentary. Stick around because I'm definitely going somewhere with it. Without further ado, here we go.
The man was fighting a Rico. I'm sorry, hey, white people, Young Thug is a rapper responsible for many Negro spirituals. You hear me?
T.I.'s venture into comedy has become well documented after the Grammy Award-winning rapper would make a major shift to start a career in telling jokes. Now, his attempts at becoming a full-time comedian dates back to 2022, where things would quickly start off bad after he was filmed being booed on stage during a comedy show in Brooklyn, New York.
My kids, I obviously don't know who the fuck I am. I got one, his name's King. I put up my college fund money for major. I had to put up bond money for King. I'm really worried about this nigga. You dig what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you a piece of advice. Please don't name your son King, because the shit don't work out with. You don't mean King like the next king. This nigga mean now, nigga. I'm gonna your spot with the neck. I believe I know why. You see, a while ago, he was about 10, 11 years old, man. I think this is where the animosity started. The nigga walks in, caught me slamming his mom. You hear me? Nailing his mom. We ain't been the same since. But goddamn.
For many veteran comedians, T.I.'s pursuit in comedy would not be welcome due to several reasons. One reason was his original lack of understanding comedy etiquette when he first started. Now, heckling a comedian or crashing another comedian's performance is a big no in comedy because the stage is considered as a sacred space for the craft and should be respected at all times. So literally right around the time when he was booed on stage, T.I. would end up heckling a female comedian and host in Atlanta while crashing her performance after taking issues with jokes she made about him and his wife Tiny.
Shit, don't play with me back there.
I'm not, but one thing I am as a comedian, I'm not playing with you. See, now you're getting misunderstood. This is not a rap battle. And be clear, if I want to make jokes about something, I'll make jokes about something. Absolutely.
You see, this moment would upset many comedians who would know that this was a huge violation. Now, despite this very rough start, T.I. has since moved on and has continued his career in comedy by touring with several comedians as they call themselves Haha Mafia. Now, in December, just before the year would end, T.I., donning a similar red leather outfit like Eddie Murphy's Delirious, has released his first ever comedy special entitled Cheaper Than Therapy. In the teaser, T.I. would address being a rapper, now comedian, one of his sons, and marriage.
Shout out to everybody bought tickets thinking there was gonna be some songs performed. Not today. There's under my goddamn comment talking about you need to do something with that boy. Bitch, I'm doing the best I motherfucking can. Do you wanna know how I met my beautiful, beloved, filthy rich wife? I hop fresh out the passenger side of my best friend's ride. Walk right up on her and say, hey baby, how about me and you get to doing some things? I serve a God of abundance. All you got to do is believe. Come on now.
With being the businessman he is, he has not released a special on any major streaming platforms and instead has opted to release a special independently on his own website called tipaintfunny.com, which appears to be his way of directly confronting a large part of hate he's received since wanting to be a comedian. Now, after time has gone by since the special's release, clips are now circulating online, and unfortunately some of the cringier moments from the special have taken over the headlines. In particular, a TikToker would upload a moment from the special and label it T.I. Bombs on Stage, as he would discuss rapper Young Thug's criminal case. Things do appear to have got awkward for Tip when his joke would be met with silence in the room.
The man was fighting a Rico. I'm sorry, hey, white people, Young Thug is a rapper. He from Cleveland Avenue. His name don't sound like much, you know what I'm saying? But he's held in high regard within the community. He's a national treasure. All right, yes. Responsible for many Negro spirituals.
Now, over in the comment section, many would continue the criticism towards T.I. One user would write, I would have started rapping. Another would say, this gotta be AI. While another would comment, this is barbershop funny, not big stage, pay for tickets to go see funny. Now, to his defense, a man would say he was there during the show and would go on to blame editing. He would write, edited. It wasn't like that. I was there. Y'all need to stop the madness. He's better than you think. He's no Dave Chappelle, but he's gotten 10 times better since when he first started. Now, interesting enough, one user would simply share a picture of Ari Spears, referring to Spears' criticism he has given T.I. becoming a comedian. A week before the release of this special, Spears would reshare an interview moment of T.I. addressing the hate.
When you started doing stand-up,
Yeah.
I mean, there was a bunch of ruffles in the stand-up community, as you probably knew.
Why wouldn't I be afforded the same peace of mind, tranquility, and the same therapeutic release as you guys are afforded? Then I made more sacrifices than most comedians have made. I turned my back on six-figure opportunities to go and perform and do music to do comedy.
Oh, wow.
How many comedians would say no to a six-figure opportunity so they could go
Not a
and do
lot.
comedy? How many of you love it that much? I'll wait.
For his caption, Spears would write, it's called humility. Once you're entering a space that is new to you, you have to approach it with humility, especially when there are people of greatness within the art form to whom you can learn from. T.I. approaches the comedy game with the same bravado and arrogance to which he has succeeded in the rap game. Yes, you have to be confident in everything you attempt to do, but there's a thin line between confident and arrogant, and the great ones can tell the difference. Humble yourself. You're not there yet. There's levels to this shit. And you turning down six figures is not a poignant point. You don't need that money. That's why you turned it down. Now, T.I. has yet to appear to have publicly responded back to Spears' criticism, as just 4 months ago, while speaking on the Joe and Jada podcast, Spears would share those same issues with T.I. doing comedy after Fat Joe would express he thought T.I. was pretty funny.
I saw T.I. Do some comedy. He was actually pretty good.
Your opinion. It's your opinion.
My opinion.
But the comedy community will tell you otherwise. Here's the problem. If you're going to step into another genre, you got to humble yourself. T.I. approaches comedy with the same bravado he approaches rap. That's a different aesthetic.
Now, after the release of this special, it does appear that there are others that are like Fat Joe, as several people have come to T.I.'s defense. A part of those who have watched the new special, a few users on X would express that they found the new special funny. A user would write, I really enjoyed that T.I. comedy special. For it being his first time, he really did his thing. So let's talk about it more in the comments below. Do you agree with Ari Spears that T.I.'s overconfidence is why he sometimes struggles in comedy? Or do you think T.I. just doesn't have what it takes? For more news and comedy, be sure to subscribe here to our YouTube channel. And if you want to hear more about T.I.
All right, now you all just saw that, right? Now, some of it was definitely hard to watch, right? It was hard to watch. But then also, somebody in the clip said, hey, this is not even facts. This is edited. Okay. And they said that, T.I. was getting some love on that stage. So, in the world of AI and people editing videos, okay, you just never know. But still, I'm going to speak a few things on this, man. I just want to say I really respect T.I.'s heart. Just getting on that stage and going after something that you love takes courage. All right. We saw him do rap. All right. But now he's out here trying comedy, following his passion. And it seems that he's not letting the boos and the naysayers stop him. That takes heart, man. You got to respect that. You got to respect it. Me personally, I've always been a fan of comedians, comics. Okay? From Jim Carrey to Robin Harris, Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, Cat Williams, Damon Wayans, etc., man. I love to laugh. I love to laugh. Laughing is medicine. Mentally, spiritually, and even for the body. There's actually studies that back that up. Laughing makes you feel good. It can lift your spirit. And it heals in ways that words alone cannot. So shout out to the comedians out there that love to make people laugh. All right. I'm with you. I'm with you. Being a stand-up comedian has got to be one of the toughest jobs in entertainment. I believe it is, right? I mean, it has to be tougher than being a rapper, singer, actor, actress, or any other entertainer. Why? Because you're standing up in front of people who might be mad, angry, sad, or just not in the mood. I mean, you're standing in front of people who said, hey, I know your aunt, I know your father, your mom just passed away, but let's go out to the comedy club tonight and take a load off. You're standing up in front of people like that, and you have to make them laugh. You know, you're standing in front of people who just got fired from their job, right? And they want to laugh. You're standing up in front of people who just, broke up with their significant other, etc. And they want to laugh. And you got to make them laugh. That's not easy, man. Making someone laugh is not an easy thing to do, So shout out to people who got the heart to stand on stage and try to do that. All right. I also get that people are going to make it extra hard for T.I. I get it. Especially because he's a known rapper, right? So there's already expectations. There's already criticism. And I heard, we all saw the clip of Ari Spears in the video that I just played by Comedy Hype where he said T.I. can come off a little arrogant, And he has to be humble when approaching comedy because it's a different craft than approaching rap. And I agree with that. But still, you got to give props to T.I. for following his passion, man. And what Ari Spears said, that reminds me of the episode of Fresh Prince when D.L. Hughley was Will Smith's friend. He was a comic, right? And and Will Smith went to a gig with D.L. Hughley, and one of the talent bookers for the gig heard Will Smith tell a few jokes and put them on the show. And D.L. Hughley, he was kind of upset, like, hey man, you stepping into my craft and you're not showing respect to it, you're not giving it the props that it deserves, etc. And Will Smith was like, hey, if you can do it, I can do it. Ain't nothing to it, And then he went on stage and nobody thought he was funny. That was one of my favorite episodes, man. It's one of my favorite episodes. But yeah. Kind of reminds me of that episode with Ari Spears saying that to T.I. But yeah, man, being a comedian is the toughest job out there, man, when it comes to entertainment. It can make you or break you in a moment. Bomb on stage one time, and it can definitely feel like the end, Well, if you keep at it, though, it might catapult you to something bigger. You never know. That's why you got to keep at it, And that's why I want to say to people, man, whatever your dreams are, whatever your goals are, keep going, man, till you feel that it's time to stop, right? You might get booed. You might get laughed at. People might talk. But if you feel like you're really doing something, don't give up so easy. Right? Keep pushing because you never know where it may take you, man. Many great comedians have been booed off stage. Many of them. Right? Many comedians that you see on TV today have been booed off stage. Okay? So it doesn't mean give up. All right? Keep going, man. And it appears that's what T.I. is doing. All right? Now, in regards to what Ari Spears said about T.I., being arrogant and, not respecting comedy, etc. I mean, we really don't know. We don't know if T.I. is sitting back studying tapes of Bernie Mac or Robin Harris or Richard Pryor, etc. We don't know if T.I. has called Cat Williams, like, hey, can you give me some pointers? We don't know if T.I. has called D.L. Hughley or other legends for advice. We don't know. Right? What we do know is he's following his passion, and that's what we all should do, follow our passion. In conclusion, I'm interested to see what T.I.'s comedy goes. It's a journey. If anyone out there watching this, remember, be courageous on your journey, man. All right? Be courageous on your journey. Now, the King thing, that was funny to me. That was funny to me. When T.I. said, hey, man, you know, name my son King, and he turned into something else, you know. Be careful what you name your kid, because it may not turn out like that, you know. That was funny to me, you know. And another thing, man, if something is funny to you, then laugh at it if it's funny to you. See, some of y'all will find something funny, but because the other 5 people next to you are not laughing, then you won't laugh. Like, that's corny. That's being a cornball follower. Stop being a follower, man. You know, if you find something funny, then you find it funny. Just because the other 10 people don't, doesn't mean you got to sit there in silence and not laugh and, you know, try to be like everybody else. That's the problem in the world today. Too many people trying to be like other people. Be yourself, man. Be yourself. All right. But again, I'm interested to see, what it goes with T.I., man, you know, in his comedy. I'm talking about his comedy journey, you know. But I'm gonna leave you all with Joshua 1:9, man. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. All right. With that, I'm gone, man. Much respect to y'all for tuning in. I'll be back later on with another one. Peace.